Many of brotherly love didn't have the warmest of welcomes for the Cincinnati Bengals today.
They're going down! They're going down! You're going to break your knee, Dylan!
Why don't you like go back where you came from?
The fans of Philadelphia flocked to Veterans Stadium to see their Eagles get one step closer to the NFL playoffs, not to take one step backwards. And the leader in the hunt, Eagle rookie quarterback Bobby Hoying.
Bobby played well.
Played an exceptional game. He played like a veteran today. He didn't play like a young quarterback at all.
Hoying opened up the first drive of the game with an impressive passing exhibition, just as if he was giving a few free lessons for those who wanted to watch.
I really wasn't watching Bobby too much, and quite frankly, when you're playing against somebody who thought that you were his idol when he was a kid, I'm just trying to outplay the young guy. You know what I'm saying?
And today, that wasn't an easy thing to do. Starting out, the young quarterback used 3 different targets to move the ball down the field. Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Waters, and then Michael Timpson, each getting a hand on the ball more than once. And Timpson getting a hand on the ball when the points counted. Hoying threw to Timpson for a 23-yard score, jumping out to a 7-0 lead.
I think he's a good quarterback. Not to take anything from him, he's a good quarterback, and he did a great job out there. I think we made a lot of mistakes, though. We made a lot of mistakes. We gave them points, and that's what hurt us in this game.
If the quarterback's on the money and you got a good running game and, you got some good pass blocking, you can make some plays.
The Bengals didn't answer right away to Philadelphia's early score, but in their second possession they did. Boomer put the ball in Corey Dillon's hands, and on the first 3 plays he led the way, this one for a 12-yard gain.
Some runs by Corey, just tremendous. I mean, and it's fun to play offense like that, and that's the way it's supposed to be played.
Then the offense was in a 3rd and 3 situation on the 40, looking for a big play to keep them on the field. Boomer dropped back and found James Hunden, who found 1st and goal after 52 yards. They got the big play they needed. Then 2 plays later, they capitalized on it when Boomer passed to Darnay Scott in the end zone. The game was tied at 7.
I told them, the other offensive linemen told them, the running backs told them that he's no longer at this point right now the number 2 receiver, so he can't hide behind number 1. You are the number 1 receiver. You have to practice like that. You have to play like that, and there's a certain amount of responsibility that goes with that. And I thought he had a tremendous week of practice, and it showed in today's game.
This is where things started to get interesting. The Eagles have the ball, Hoying not making many mistakes until Sam Shade intercepts this pass intended for Johnson. But then Shade gives the ball right back to the Eagles when Steve Everett forces him to fumble. The football is recovered by the Eagles' Jermaine Mayberry at their own 35, giving the Eagles another opportunity provided by a Bengals mistake.
We fumbled that. That might have been a big play. I don't know if it would have been a touchdown, but it would have been a first down and a big play. One goes off his hands and, into the interception. We fumble and intercept. We get an interception and fumble it back to him. I mean, this is how they beat Pittsburgh. We talked about it all week.
But the Bengals didn't let the Eagles run with that opportunity. They stole the ball back when Brenson Buckner forced another Eagle fumble. That led to the Bengals' 2nd touchdown of the game. Boomer threw to James Hunden for 36 yards. Hunden's 1st of 2 for the day, giving the Bengals a 14-7 lead over the Eagles.
Took advantage of the man coverage. Charles Demery's a great DB, and I was able to outquick him a few times and, come open for a few scores and some pretty, good catches for, first down.
In the 2nd quarter, the Bengals made another hard and long drive until this pitch to Kajana Carter. He fumbled the ball on the 4th down, handing it over to the Eagles.
I was so anxious. I saw him up there blitzing, and I really couldn't tell you what happened. I just got it, and they just had the butterfingers.
On that Eagle possession, Hoying led Philadelphia down the field to tie the game at 14. Then it's the Bengals' turn, but not for long. This time, Eric Bieniemy has a case of the butterfingers. He fumbles the ball.
Special teams didn't contribute very much today. We gave Philadelphia a good field position, and they did a good job with it. They got a lot of yards on us.
So now, once again, the Eagles have a chance to capitalize on a Bengals mistake, and they do it. Hoying passes to Johnson for the 14-yard touchdown. They're now leading the Bengals 21-14. That wasn't the end of the scoring for the first half for the Eagles. Right before the break, they add 3 more on the board after a Chris Bonio 33-yard field goal. He kicked 6 of the Eagles' first half points. In the second half, the Bengals came out ready to make things happen. Dillon still running hard. He totaled 114 yards, collecting his second 100-yard game of his NFL career. The Bengals move into position to gain points on Eagles again. This time they send Carter around the end and in for the 1-yard score. The Bengals were down by only a touchdown.
And no matter what, I'm going to go out there and do the best I can.
In the fourth quarter, the Bengals were still playing catch-up. Every touchdown they scored just wasn't enough. Then there was a little over a minute left in the game. A pass interference call in the Bengals' favor pushed Cincinnati to the 1-yard line.
Previously, I had beat him on a fade at the time, and he knew I was pointing at the safety. Because every time there's a safety blitz, I have to adjust. And at that time, the safety was coming up, and I adjusted. And, he just completely just grabbed me. So the only thing I could do was pretty much try and fight back for the ball and show that I was being held. And I was able to get the call.
A call that led to Brian Mill diving over the 1-yard line into the end zone, a 42-41 lead over Philadelphia. But that wasn't enough for the Bengals because once again Hoying led his team quickly down the field with a minute left on the clock and put his team in field goal position. Bonio hit his third field goal of the day to beat the Bengals 44-42.
I would have to say that's the worst way you can lose a game, a last-second field goal, or if somebody runs back a kick with no time left. I mean, that is the most frustrating thing that a football player can go through.